Hello everyone, you're welcome to this week's Tech to Stage webinar on accelerating CDI data integration projects with advanced serverless. I'm Rinda, your host for today's session, and today we have with us Vipin Nath, who is Director of Product Management, and Atul Singh, Senior Product Manager, who will be presenting for this session. Before we start this webinar, let's go through some housekeeping tips. The webinar will be for 1 hour. That includes a 15 minutes Q&A. You can post your queries in the Q&A box. Dial-in participants are muted for the entire session. The session is being recorded and will be available in the Informatica Support YouTube channel and the Success portal. You'll also be able to download the slide deck from the Success portal. Also, please feel free to put in your feedbacks and suggestions for this session in the post-webinar survey. The Tech Tuesdays webinars are hosted within the Success portal, which is a microlearning platform that offers free and unlimited learning to all registered users. This feature-rich platform was launched to help you learn and use Informatica products better. Here are a few important links that you can go over later that will help you in your product adoption journey with Informatica. Over to you, Vipin and Atul. Thank you.
Thanks for the introduction. Hi everyone. Just a safe harbor statement before I start. Some of the things I will be sharing today could be part of our roadmap and are subject to change. Okay, so this is our agenda for today's webinar. So we'll start with Informatica reference architecture. Then we'll discuss about advanced serverless, its feature, use cases, execution model, architecture, and then we'll follow up that with a demo and a Q&A session. Okay, so this is our Informatica reference architecture for implementing Lakehouse using Informatica technologies. So this architecture is used in a lot of enterprise organizations to implement real-time analytics, business intelligence, and AI/ML-based use cases. So on the left-hand side, you can see source systems, which could be, on-premise based, streaming IoT systems, and SaaS-based systems. Your data could be spread across these data sources. So first step is basically to, start identifying the right data across these systems. You can use data catalog and governance to discover the data assets, its origin, understand its attribute, lineage, relationship. In the second step, once you have identified the data, you can then use cloud mass ingestion to mass ingest your file, DB, streaming, and application data to the data lake of your choice, like S3, ADLS, and Google Cloud Storage. Once the data lands to your data lake, you can then transform it, enrich it, and clean it using the Cloud Data Integration and Cloud Data Integration Elastic, which is our Spark-based CDI Elastic engine to process and transform large data sets. So once the data is clean, this data can then be loaded into CDW for consumption, or you can also, in the fourth step, you can directly provision it using data provisioning and preparation for your AI data science use cases directly. Or you can also move it to your cloud dataware of your choice, like your Azure, Synapse, or Snowflake, or Redshift, right? So this clean data can then further be sliced, diced, segregated, and you can use ELT engine, which uses our advanced push-down optimization technique. From there, this data can be, further provisioned for use cases across real-time analytics, enterprise analytics, and AI/ML use cases. Right. So what is advanced serverless? So advanced serverless is a fully managed scale-out environment for cloud data integration and cloud data integration elastic, where you don't have to manage any kind of software or hardware for your data integration needs. It basically allows you to focus completely on implementing your business logic and designing your mappings, rather than having to worry about managing secure agent or an elastic cluster. I believe you already know about our cloud data integration, which uses a secure agent for processing data integration job. Cloud data integration elastic is relatively our newer product and service, which uses elastic engine based on Spark running on Kubernetes. Just to emphasize here that engines are CDI and CDIE, and advanced serverless is a deployment option for these. So that's why you see a horizontal across cloud data integration and data integration elastic. So it's a deployment option and runtime environment to support these. Okay, so just to give you a brief overview in terms of what are the serverless features, right? So on the left hand side, you can see some of the highlight features. Like at present, it is available for the cloud data integration and cloud data integration elastic, as I spoke about. You don't have to manage any kind of servers or softwares. You can switch your existing tasks or mappings from running from secure agent or a cluster to advanced serverless runtime environment. It has inbuilt auto scaling and concurrency. So basically, you can run multiple jobs at the same time. Easy setup in 2 minutes with by using CloudFormation template. So you can basically set up advanced serverless using CloudFormation template very easily from AWS. It is a totally a consumption-based pricing model, wherein you are only charged for the time your mapping is running, and you're not charged for the time the agent is alive on the platform. Only for the duration your task is running, you will be charged for that. At present, it's currently available on AWS only. Azure and GCP, are on the roadmap. So on the right hand side, you can see, there nothing changes in advanced serverless runtime. You design your mappings the very same way, and you just have to, switch the mapping, to run from a secure agent to advanced serverless, right? So there is no effort or rework, needed to kind of, move from secure agent to the advanced serverless runtime. So I'll talk about the architecture in coming slide, and show you how basically it is architected. Okay, so talking about the use cases. So when do we use advanced serverless? When it makes more sense, or it is more fit, right? So for example, if you want to reduce your infrastructure maintenance, secure agent administration overhead, right? Wherein you don't want to deal any kind of procuring any hardware, provisioning, and then patching activities, etc. You can advanced serverless completely frees you pure from those activities. You have changing seasonal needs, right? Your let's say for example, you have high workloads during seasonal sale, and then low workloads on off seasons, right? So those kind of dynamic workload requirements can be supported using advanced serverless. You can jumpstart your projects. For example, if you have another project coming up, you don't have to worry about provisioning more hardware, and then spinning up more secure agents, right? And then it also provides you a way to do quick POC, because you can set it up in 2 minutes, and then you can start processing that. Process lots of concurrent workloads. So the another advantage of advanced serverless is that you can run as many tasks in parallel as you want, uh, which is kind of it's an edge over the secure agent. Secure agent at present runs 2 to 3 tasks concurrently, but with advanced serverless you can run up to n number of tasks concurrently. Last but not the least is that it allows you to be more productive, right? When you don't have to deal with any kind of managing of secure agent or any kind of administration, you're more productive. You're focusing on your implementing your data pipelines, etc. And if you're short staff, this makes more sense. Okay, so moving on to the execution model of the advanced serverless and architecture. Okay, so this basically your current secure agent based execution model, right? Uh, for example, you can see on the top you see Informatica VPC, where the Informatica, the familiar design time where you have been designing your mapping all throughout, right? This is your regular design time, and then I believe some of you would have hosted your secure agent inside your AWS VPC, or in your data center, or locally. So you can imagine that this to be your local environment, either AWS or a data center, or it could be a machine as well. So you have set up your secure agent here, and then you run your jobs using this secure agent, right? So when it comes to the to the advanced serverless execution model, right? Everything remains same. You design the mapping the same way, but in case of the processing, the way advanced serverless work is that we spin up an infra DMZ environment next to customer VPC in the same availability zone, right? And we spin up all these secure agents and cluster inside this DMZ, which is a secure tenant isolated environment. And we pair up this customer, we pair up your VPC with the infra DMZ using a tenant controlled elastic network interface, right? So in for DMZ is where all your processing of the data happens. It access your data, your source data and target, through this ENI in your VPC. And another point to mention that it is completely secure in a way that there are no inbound connection. It completely, is certified with a lot of security, security best practices and certifications. So I'll be talking about more in the coming slides. Okay, so to give you more color in terms of of the advanced serverless architecture, I'll quickly show you basically how it pairs with the a regular VPC pairing solution, right? So when it comes to advanced serverless architecture, right, as I said, we pair it up with your VPCs using a elastic network interface technology, and this elastic network interface is created within your VPC. You have full control over it in terms of what all sources and targets that Infa DMZ should access. So you completely govern it using your IAM and security policies. But in terms of advantage of over VPC pairing solution, you have zero data transfer costs. So there are no data egress charges. It's a simple setup, and there is advanced network sharing, enables transitive routing if you desire, and then it offers you a tighter security and isolation. Moving on. So now talking about the security aspects of it, right? A lot of our customers are in the space of banking, financial, and hospitality industry, right? So the question of security is a very important one, right? So we have built in multiple layers of security, protection, and controls. So the customer has full control over the trusted network link, the cross network interface link, which I showed, with the security group and policy set up by the customer. And at any given time, you can revoke the access, right? Now, advanced serverless is completely secure by design. So we have built advanced serverless on proven and trusted cloud data practices. So you see over 7 layers of enterprise grade security protection to get to the 10 in data, right? Apart from that, we support the most extensive industry standards and regulatory compliances like SOC 2, SOC 3, HIPAA, and US EU Privacy Shield, and also is aligned with the international security standards such as ISO 27000. So you see, so this is completely, so we have taken all the latest security certifications for advanced serverless. So you can rest assured this is completely safe and up to the global standards of security. Okay, so now moving on in terms of what are the various runtime deployment options currently you have, and how basically they compare to each other, right? So on the left hand side, right, you can see your current CDI model. If you are using ISO CDI, right, this is the you're using. You can see that in the current CDI model, right, the data agent and the compute part, it's all managed by the you or the customer, right? The ISS platform is currently managed by Informatica, and we provide that. When you move to a CDI elastic based model, right, where the data and agent is again managed by the customer, the elastic cluster is managed by Informatica. When you move to the a completely advanced serverless for your CDI or CDI elastic product, if you implement those using advanced serverless, then only the data is what you have to manage. The elastic agent, compute, ISS platform, everything is managed by Informatica, so you don't have to worry about any kind of provisioning, scaling, maintenance, right? So that's where the advantage comes in of the advanced serverless. Now, adding some more details to the comparison on the deployment option, right? So your regular secure agent, then the CDI elastic, and how advanced serverless compares. So at present, if you see in terms of the cloud provider, secure agent can be installed on any of the ecosystems. CDI elastic is present currently supported on AWS, Azure, GCP, and when you go to advanced serverless, at present is currently available only on AWS. We have on roadmap for Azure and GCP. Now, in terms of scaling, right, secure agent, you have to do manual scaling, right? In case your workload increases, you have to add more secure agent manually. In CDI Elastic, it is automatic. In Advanced Serverless, it is automatic as well, right? So you can read through some of the details like infrastructure management, maintenance overhead, infrastructure costs. So these are all managed by customer in case of secure agent. It is managed by Informatica in case of Advanced Serverless, right? In terms of workload volume, Advanced Serverless is right up there. It can manage from low volumes to very high volumes. Now, important point to note here are the recommended use case and the pricing model. So if you see the recommended use case, we recommend that Advanced Serverless should be used only for cloud to cloud, on-prem to cloud, and cloud to on-prem use cases. It is not meant for on-prem to on-prem use cases, right? Though it supports that, but we don't recommend it because then you won't see the benefit of Advanced Serverless and the performance Advanced Serverless. In terms of the pricing model, right? So if you have installed a secure agent on a AWS environment or a VM, right? So then you would get two different bills. One is that Informatica bill, and then you would also see a bill from AWS, right? So that's why we say two separate bills here. When it comes to the Advanced Serverless, right? Since all your processing happens, on the Infor DMZ, right? So you get a single bill from Informatica. So all the processing, which happens on DMZ, AWS bills that to us, and we kind of combine it with your regular bill and propose you a single bill. Okay, so let's look at how you can set up Advanced Serverless and what are the prerequisites for the same. So first is that you have to create an ad gateway. It's an optional. For example, if you have data sources and targets outside your VPC, or if you have VPC endpoints which you want to connect to outside your VPC, then you would need an ad gateway. Second is S3 folder or a bucket which you have to provide while creating Advanced Serverless. So you would need this for storing your parameter files or your jar files, external libraries or drivers for your third-party connectors, right? So if you have any of those requirements, or even the storing the script files for your command task, then you would need an S3. You need to provide S3 folder or a bucket. Third is that is a mandatory one. You have to set up IAM role and policy. So this IAM role and policy is used for establishing two-way trust between your AWS account and AWS account, and as well for granting Informatica access to set up the ENI between Infor DMZ and customer VPC. Also, you would need the security group for attaching the ENI to your account. So this security group basically provides you control over the ENI in terms of the data sources and targets within your VPC it should access. So there are two basically options through which you can set up Advanced Serverless. First option is through ISUI. So you can log into your ISCS and then go to administrator. Then from there you can navigate to serverless environment, click on new serverless environment, and then the page on the right side will open up. So you have to provide two details. One is that detail you can see like on the basic configuration, we have to enter what kind of serverless you're creating, either it's for CDI or CDI Elastic, and provide the name. And in the bottom in the platform configuration, you would have to provide the AWS related details like your VPC, security group, IAM role, etc. So I will be covering this in the demo. Next option is through in CloudFormation template. So you can use AWS CloudFormation template. It's a quite easy, simple way and more preferred option for setting up Advanced Serverless. CloudFormation template is basically infrastructure as code provisioning tool, which kind of automates the infrastructure provisioning in a very simple and automated way. These template links will be provided to you. They're also already there in the documentation, and as well as this slide which will be provided to you. You can also look at the video setup tutorial as well, to see how we set it up using CloudFormation template. But nevertheless, I'll be covering that in the demo. Uh, so there are two kinds of template we have provided. One is for the new VPC scenario, and another one was for existing VPC scenario. For example, you want to create an advanced serverless in say advanced serverless environment in a new VPC. You don't want to touch your existing VPC. You can choose that template. And in case you want to use your existing VPC, you can then choose to then select this your URL which you have provided here for setting up the advanced serverless in the existing VPC. Okay, so let's start with the demo. First, I'll show you the AWS CloudFormation method. We will be using AWS CloudFormation templates for that. Okay, move. So first, you would have to log into your AWS account. You have to just make sure that you have all the access to create EC2 instances, IAM role, policies, etc., which would be needed. Then first you go to your CloudFormation template. From here, click on the create stack. You have to provide a AWS S3 URL here. So these are the URL which would be provided to you, right? So you have to choose the right URL. For example, if you want to create a serverless setup in the new VPC, then you choose this URL. In case if you are creating and serverless in existing VPC, then you can choose this URL, right? So here I'll show you using the new VPC scenario. You can also choose to see it in designer in case you want to see what all is there in this template. Then you have to provide a stack name, which would be the same name as your serverless, which would be created inside the Informatica cloud. So choose accordingly. So then you have to decide on in terms of your CIDR block where you want to create it. These are some of the default values which are provided. You can choose to use that or provide your own values. Choose availability zone. Then you can choose deployment type, S3 endpoint or NAT gateway. So it will depend upon whether your source targets are located outside VPC or inside VPC. You can choose one of these. NAT gateway is generally needed for accessing source and targets outside the VPC. Then you have to choose where your Informatica orgs are located. So in case your orgs are located in US, then you choose this US region here. If you're there, located in EMEA and APAC, you have to choose accordingly. So my orgs are located in APAC, so I would go ahead and choose APAC. Then I have provided my my credentials as already. So these are the the org credentials of your Informatica cloud. Then you have to decide in terms of whether you want to create advanced serverless for data integration or data integration elastic. So for this purpose, for the demo, I'm creating here for the data integration. Since I'm creating for the integration, I have to decide in terms of the maximum compute units, right? So you can imagine, maximum compute unit as one unit here basically translates to a 4-core CPU machine, right? Which you would be running your secure agents on, right? So accordingly, you can calculate and convert that how much you would need. You can choose to give AWS tags, that is pretty optional. Supplementary file location, so you have to provide a bucket name here if you want to use if you want to use the driver files, if you want to store some driver files or some shell script to run some Python scripts or command, right? So you can use this. You have to provide the bucket location here. Since for the purpose of demo, it is not mandatory, so I'm skipping this one. And then that's all you have to do here. And then you can kind of preview it in terms of what all the values you have provided. And then you just have to acknowledge these and just say create stack. And that's it. That simple it is to create the serverless runtime environment. So this is the way you create a advanced serverless in Informatica cloud. So once we'll go to and log into the Informatica cloud, we can see serverless environment which will come up in that. So let's move on to that. So it will take roughly about 2 to 3 minutes. So Let me show you the other method meanwhile. Okay, so first you have to go to the administrator, and okay, so then you go to the serverless runtime environment, click on the new serverless runtime environment. So you can see there are two categories of details. One is that, basic configuration, platform configuration detail, right? So this is the second method. Just to repeat, this is we saw the first method. This is the second method. In this, you would be providing a name for your serverless runtime environment. You can choose in any of these, any of the runtime environment you want. You can provide a description, uh, and then you can provide a uh, task type. Again, task type is which kind of serverless runtime environment you're creating. You're creating for data integration jobs, or you're creating for data integration Elastic, which are nothing but a Spark based jobs, right? So that you have to choose. Then again, you have to decide on the maximum compute unit task per task, right? So as I mentioned earlier, one unit here translates to a 4-core CPU. So accordingly, you can decide how many compute unit you would need. Generally, one should be enough. Then you have to decide on the task timeout. So basically, task timeout is that if the task goes beyond this particular timeline, then the task will get terminated. The task will get terminated. So so this is basically a kind of guardrails to protect you from the tasks which are stuck forever due to some of the issues or error. So once was the task hits this particular time here, then the task will automatically terminate, and it will prevent you from consuming unlimited amount of IPUs, right? And this is the Informatica account number here. Then these are the details you have to provide. Then you on the bottom you have to provide the Amazon related details. For example, the configuration name, configuration description, account number. So this account number would be the account number of your AWS. You have to choose and decide in terms of where you want to set up this serverless, in whichever region, right? So this region will show only the regions in which your org is located. Then you can choose in terms of your AZ ID. uh, for example, if you choose it, then you can see all the available reasons. Then you can then provide the VPC ID where you want the serverless environment to be created. Subnet ID, you have to provide the security group here, and you have to provide the IAM role, and then you have to provide AWS tags, which is kind of optional. Supplementary file location, which is also kind of optional, right? So but again, this is needed for if you want to keep any ODBC JDBC files, driver files, and then scripts or parameter files for parameterized mappings, right? So once you have provided all these details, you can click on save. One thing which I should mention to you, that you may have to in the role which you have created for serverless, you have to tag this external ID and establish a two-way trust over there. Let me just kind of show it to you how you can do that. So for example, this is the role which I have created, right? So similar role you would have to create if you're doing it manually through the UI, right? And in the trust relationship, you have to see I have provided the external ID here, so you have to edit this and provide the same external ID which is present there here, right? So this should ideally should match for successfully creating the serverless environment. Okay, so this is the second way through which you can create the serverless runtime environment. Now let me quickly show you in terms of how you can run a mapping through a serverless runtime environment. So if you see, there is a serverless runtime environment which is already up and running, and this is the environment we just created some time back. It would have been hardly 2-3 minutes. You can see the environment which is now almost up, and the services are now coming up. Now, till that this comes up, let me quickly show you how you can run your mappings to advanced serverless. Now, moving to the data integration. Okay. So, I have this task which is which I want to run through serverless runtime environment. Okay, so here you can see the runtime environment. So this is the one which I have already created, which you saw just a while back. So this is the environment serverless which I've already created. You can this is my uh, local runtime environment which I have created on my machine, right? So similarly, you would might be having some other environment. You can then just switch to serverless environment, and once you have done that, you can then go next and save this task. So that's all you have to do now. Your task is now would be running on the advanced serverless. So if you run this task, this would now be running on the advanced serverless runtime environment, right? Okay, so that's how basically you can run your mapping using advanced serverless runtime. So let's move back to the to our presentation. So this basically covers our demo how you can set it up using the AWS CloudFormation template that we saw, then using the IICS UI, and how you can run your mappings using advanced serverless, or you can switch your mapping to advanced serverless. Okay. So let's talk about the just summarizing in terms of the key highlights of advanced serverless, right? So it provides you the same design experience. You don't have to do anything different. You design your mappings the same way. Nothing changes there. Broad connectivity. So all the sources and targets which are currently available on the CDI part, they are available with advanced serverless as well. Uh, then advanced serverless is based on totally consumption based pricing, so you can see the metering and metering in terms of how much you are consuming. So on the right hand side you can see how many serverless compute unit you have allocated, how many of them are remaining, right? So you can see those details and how much of the based on their current rate, how many days of usage is left. So you can see all those details in that, and you can even download that. So and then also you can see in terms of if you have multiple serverless runtime environment, and then you can see the consumption of each of those runtime environments separately, and download the monthly consumption details for every on task base from this page. So that is also available to you. Another thing point to note is that before you start using the advanced serverless, you have to ensure that you have assigned a some non some IPUs to the serverless meter, right? So until unless it have some thousand or some IPUs allocated to it, you might not be able to create the serverless runtime. So you have to just ensure that that is there. At present, it is completely available on all the pods across US, EMEA, and APAC. Uh, if we provide CloudFormation templates for you to kind of simplify the setup, like we just saw. Okay, so moving on now to Q&A session. Uh, Please let us know, in terms of, if you have any questions on this. Thank you. And these are details in case you have more questions. You can always, feel free to reach us out later on. Uh, so please go ahead and, ask, whatever questions you have on the advanced serverless. We'd be happy to answer.